Hey, what up, decisive marketers? Today we have a form 2 to talk about, and I don't really do much reviews on form 2s. I only did one, I think. And this one, I think the reason why I want to do this is because this form 2 is actually very, very good for value. Um, at its current stage right now, I think that the core features are really powerful. They do need to improve on the UI, UX, and add a few other features as well, but it actually looks pretty good, simple, and but at the same time, it's very feature rich, right? And this tool that we're going to be talking about today is called Form Engineer. I think that they might have even chose a wrong name for the name of the form, because Form Engineer sounds like a very technical kind of thing, but it's actually very easy to use it. I was kind of hesitant to test it out as well because of the name engineer, right? But that's not the case here, and I'm quite excited to share with you what is how Form Engineer looks like. But before I dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. So here we are in Form Engineer. In fact, I've just created a form like this right here, and I'm going to show you how to do that shortly, right? The first thing, like I always like to do, is to jump into settings, right? So with the settings, you can actually set, let me just set my time zone right here. Alright, okay, so what happens is that you can set your own SMTP settings, okay? So you can put your own SMTP settings, but it seems like they do have an issue here, is that you got to update everything in the settings page, right? That means your language and time zone and the SMTP settings. So if I don't set this up, I wouldn't be able to update this. So this is a small little UX issue that here that got I guess they would be easily be solved, right? So if you want to make use of your own SMTP settings, that means you want the email to come from you and not from engineer instead, you can make use of the SMTP settings here. Okay, but I would say that one of the downside right here is it seems like you can only add one single SMTP. You can't create multiple ones. So you can't use them for, let's say, if you run an agency, you want to hide the form tools that you use, and you want to hide multiple, as in you may have different sending domains, right? So then I think that this would not be a good idea at the moment, right? Because you can only set up one SMTP settings. The other way would be that you got to have multiple accounts with Form Engineer, right? So once you set that up, we can jump over to the this is the home page, as in like the dashboard right here. It's very bare, I would say, and this icons here and colors don't really make it very simple to use. But you can even also download the HTML PHP code for you to embed the form, it seems. So quite a few options right here, and there is also a collaborate option here where you can share your email with someone. They got to create a free account, and then they will be able to edit the form, right? And these are the permissions that you can give to them, right? So any shared forms, that means forms that are being shared to you for editing, that will come in here, and any form that you save as a template will be in here as well. Of course, one of the downsides is that they don't have any form templates right now. Okay, so that's something to take note of. This is the form that I've created, right? And I'm going to jump in and show you what it can do right here. Okay, so the first thing is they've got these inputs right here. You can put a standard text input, which is what I have for the name. Okay, so in the name, you can change the label, the field name. So this is what comes to you to identify the, what is this form field, right? And then you can set the width. Okay, so this is the form width. It can go up to 12, right? So 1 to 12 right here. Okay, then you can select the type, whether it's a text, it's a phone number, it's an email, it's a color, or password. You can have it right here. And then next would be the placeholder. Okay, so this would be okay. So this would be the placeholder that shows up within the field itself. Enter. What is your name? Okay, so this will be a help text, just comes up below. So it's actually very feature rich as to what you can do with Form Engineer right here, right? And then you can select the size of the field. Okay, so it's small, large, and default. So default, I guess, is medium, right? So this is how it looks like, and whether you want to have it as required, and you can show the error message as well. Okay, and then how whether you want to do any validation at all. Okay, so you can make use of that, and the icon, right? So you can put an icon right here. So I think one of the downside here is more of a UX issue here. They should have a search option, right? They should have a search option for like the icon, and then you have a prefix and suffix, right? So you can see you can add pretty interesting option here for the forms. Let me just save this and see how it looks like. Okay, right, so it actually looks pretty nice. Can you see that? Right, it looks pretty nice. I kind of like this so far. And then you've got text area, so this will be entering like an entire area of your form. So you can select the width as well, right? And then any placeholder text. Okay, right. So you do have the help text here as well, and then whether it's required or not. Okay, so pretty much everything else is the same. You can add some CSS here as well. Okay, key and value. So I think this will be when you are trying to pass on this information, that will be, you know, the custom attribute here. Okay, so okay, and then you've got a drop down. Okay, so I have the drop down option right here. So this is quite of course you will be able to set your column width here again, right? And then help text sizing. Okay, so pretty much very similar here. Okay, so all the icons and CSS class. You got radio buttons next. Okay, so this doesn't really do much, right? The column width. Okay, so and then you edit your options here. Okay, and then you got checkbox. So I feel that the checkbox doesn't have a horizontal option, so it's a vertical option. That means you can't have like option 1, option 2 here, option 3, option 4 here. Same goes for the radio buttons right here, right? So that's something to consider. And then what is next? Okay, we've got checkbox, we've got heading, which I've already entered here. Okay, so this is the heading, and you can set the text color as well, the type. Okay, and then you've got date time, so you can select the dates. Okay, okay, so the column width. Okay, and sizing, start date, and then the end date. So you can select the days as well, and then whether you want to allow time as well. Allow them to select the time as well. And then we got file uploads. So this is the file upload option here. And whether you want to send it as a email attachment, and what kind of file types do you want to allow. So you got to put them in like this in the option, right? Okay, so I'm going to allow all types, and then you can select the file size limit as well. And then the text editor, this is actually a text option where it comes as a what you see where you get editor for the visitor itself, right? So it's actually not for you, but for the visitor to enter it this way. And you can even send videos, it seems like. So let's try putting in one of my YouTube videos and see what happens. So let's grab this one here. So I can even send a video like this. So it's actually very interesting. It comes off as a fill, and you get all this information in there. Okay. Next, we've got the terms and conditions checkbox. Okay, ratings. So this is pretty nice actually. So let me save this again. So this is your rating. Okay, that's very nice actually. You have the star running. What else do we have? We have switch. So this is the one. You got a toggle right here. Okay, a toggle button right here, and then horizontal line, HTML text. Okay, so this is the HTML text for you to add in, right? Which I have already done. So right here, and you can put like links as well. You can put HTML. Sorry, you can put links in here as well. Very nice. And a signature option right here. Can you see that? So if we save this as form, we can take a look and see how it looks like. Okay, so you got your horizontal line in here. Let's see. Right, and then you got your link right here as well. And this is the title. I kind of like this theme here, so I'm going to jump in very quickly and show you. So they do have conditional logic here, right? So show this fill when name is something. Okay, so you can set up conditional logic. And emails, do you want notification emails when there are new submissions? So you can put your own email in here to have it sent to you, right? And any auto respond that sends out a confirmation email, so this one goes out as well. And SMTP, so you want to send out through your own SMTP, you can toggle that on as well. So this one seems to be okay. So what happens? It seems like Form Engineer does not provide a SMTP setting. So I got to rewind a little bit about what's happening here, right? So Form Engineer doesn't seem like they provide SMTP for forms, so you got to set up SMTP that works for all the forms, right? Which is the default settings for all, and then you can set individual SMTP settings right here. Right, so it seems like that's how Form Engineer works. Next is settings, so you can set up Google Captcha. Okay, so you got to put in the side key and the secret key, and then the theme, right? So I selected the sketchy theme. Okay, so one thing about the issue that I have with Form Engineer is that whenever I make changes here, I got to refresh the form to see it. So let's say I would change it back to default. So where do I get that error? Where's that error coming from? Let me refresh this page. Right. So if I will change it to default, and I got to refresh it right here to see how it looks like. So sorry, this is the wrong page. Got to refresh it right here to see the changes. Right, so this is the change in the theme. So I feel that it is very time consuming because I got to change the theme, I got to scroll down, click save as form, and refresh just to see the difference in the theme. So this is more of a UX issue right here. Okay, more of a UX issue right here. Right, can you see that? So next is the label colors, the error messages. So you can set all this up. You can set the background color as well. So I set it to white right now, but you can, change the color. So let's say we have a maybe like very light blue. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so there you go. This is the form color right here. Okay, you can also upload a background image, but based on my testing, it did not seem to work properly. Right, it doesn't seem to work properly. There's an error, so the background image option is not working correctly at this time of testing, right? So next is action after submit, whether you're going to redirect them to a thank you page or just show them a notification to thank them. Okay, and then email sent successfully. What is the confirmation message that you're going to be showing. Okay, if you redirect, just put in the redirect URL. If it's notification, you will just put in right here. Okay, and the submit button style, what kind of style of the button that you want. Is it a solid color or is it a outline? The color, the button is not in an outline, and then the submit button size, right? What kind of size you want to have it, and the color. So it seems like you can't choose different color options right now, just 4 different colors. Okay, and then where you want to have the submit button, right? And then the text, the loading text. So when you click on it, the text changes, right? And then the submit button icon, so you can actually put an icon on the button as well. So this looks interesting. So maybe we can have like an arrow or something, arrow to the right. Okay, so that should make it look better. Okay, so there we go, right? We've got an arrow button icon added into the submit button. And the column visibility, so selected field will be visible in the database. Okay, so I guess if you want to hide certain these are the fields that is going to show up. That's what it's telling you basically. And then the enable button, okay, form submit as draft, and the scheduling of the form as well. So in case you want to end the form submission, and if you want to put in any reference number for the forms, it's all in here as well. Then you can connect it with Mailchimp. Okay, you can connect the form with Mailchimp, so any new form submission goes into your email list on Mailchimp. And you can also insert JavaScript and CSS, which I've done here, and that's where you can see some of this, let's say like a chat icon, or like this widget right here as well. Okay, so you can put stuff like that in the form. Okay, so pretty much I would say this is Form Engineer. I do like this. I would say in fact for the value of this form is very good, and I think that me spending like 21 minutes on this video here, it's actually very generous as to what I can do with this, right? So you can have it as an iframe, and also you can have it as an iframe, so you can embed this as an iframe. You can also embed the form itself, okay, and also as linking this to a new window. So it's not really a widget, but more like embedding the form right here. Okay, this gives me an error, but I'm curious as to what this does. So apparently it's supposed to give me the HTML code for the form, or the PHP code for the form as well. So I guess yep, so I guess that's what it is. And then I can view any reports in here. Alright, so it seems like the analytics is pretty good as well, just that I can't customize the analytics page, right? So because it's taking up the entire full page here, so I gotta scroll down to view every single individual item. If I can create them in a way that I want to, maybe have multiple different graphs on this on having, like, let's say this report here and this report here side by side, that would make things easier to view as well. Otherwise I feel that Form Engineer, uh, I can only say that it's a very powerful form. It's at a really good value. They do need to improve on it. Firstly, the UI is very bare. The UX does at some points does not make sense. It could have made the experience of creating a form better, but otherwise, and of course, I would say that they should have web hooks integrations as well, so that we can easily integrate with other tools that we have. But otherwise, I would say that Form Engineer is already really powerful for what it does at the price that is being offered right now. Yeah, and I believe that they offer unlimited submissions as well. I think it's a great tool. So that's all I have to share about Form Engineer. Let me know what you think about Form Engineer. I believe a lot of you, after viewing my video, may also feel the same way about it. If let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. And if you know anyone who could benefit from a form tool, right, unlimited submission form tools, be sure to share this video with them, and I'll see you in my next video.